first thing we're going to look at is how to print your pages within Snapcore first. So obviously having a high-tech device is great, but sometimes you need a low-tech companion or accompaniment to it. So to save you a bit of work of having to create all these low-tech resources, you now have the option to print from within Snapcore first. So for example, I just did a quick example here this morning. We're going swimming. We obviously can't take our iPad or our communication device into the swimming pool with us. So we're saying, look, we've created a page around swimming. We've created some phrases. It would be great that if we were able to model and to communicate while in the swimming pool. So if I wanted to print this page, I press the edit button, which is up in the top right-hand corner. It's the cog with the pencil in it. Down at the bottom, I click page. And from here, now it pops up. You'll see on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see there's a little printer icon. So this gives me the option to print this page. So I click on that. It'll automatically bring up the page that you're currently on, and then you can add more if you want. But I'll click next. It'll bring it up as it is, so it has the message bar and the menu. If I want to turn them off, I can do so that I only have the phrases there that I want, and then I can click print, and it will go to the printer that I have connected to the device. So there you have it then on paper. You can laminate it, bring it with you into the swimming pool, and away you go. And you can do that on every page within Snapcore first. So you can print basically everything within it. Any page in Snapcore that you've created, you can print. So that's a really nice feature. It gives you the option to turn your high-tech software into a low-tech option as well. So that's printing. The next thing, I'm just going to change the grid size just to make it a little bit bigger, just so we can see it. The next thing I'm going to focus within, you'll find a lot of these within the dashboard section of Snapcore first. A lot of the things I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to go in here. And the first thing we're going to look at is Google Assistant. So Toby, Dynavox, and Google have collaborated. So this program has come directly from Google themselves. They've written this piece for Snapcore first. So you may be used to using your Snapcore first, say with your Alexa or Siri or something like that, where when I press a button, Alexa,
sing me a song.
And then I have my Amazon Echo beside it. I need to have that speaker there that it will speak back to me. Well, with the Google Assistant, the speaker per se is built into the software. So when I press a button now, I can, do...
What's the weather for today?
Today in Cork, it'll be partly cloudy, with a forecast high of 5 and a low of -3.
So
right now, it's 5 degrees and partly cloudy.
There's a weather update for Cork. But the system itself talks back to you. You don't need the smart speaker to get these answers. So you have Google built into your software. So it's really, really powerful. There's some default things built in, like they'll have some messages in there. You can do fun things.
Bark like
a dog. You can say, look, it's
my birthday.
It's my birthday. You can get
happy birthday to you.
You can get Google to sing to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from Google. Happy birthday to you.
So just to reiterate, I'm not using any other piece of hardware. I have no other piece of software. All you have to do is when you go into settings, you click on user, and you just scroll down, and you'll see there's a Google account. You just have to have a Google account. You sign in with your Google account, and you'll get access to this Google Assistant. So it's free. You don't have to pay anything extra. It's all included within it. But look, as I said, there are some default ones in it, but you can, and this is feedback I've been getting from working with therapists or people using this already, is that you can use it for so many kind of life skills and other applications. So I can press edit, I can create a button, I can say, right, I live in Cork, what time is the next bus to Cork? So I'm just going to put that in. I'm not going to worry about the symbol or anything. So now when I press that,
what time is the next bus to Cork?
The best way to get to Cork by bus is to catch 203 departing at 1:37 p.m. from Pulladuff Road. Stop 243,900.
I'll just put out. Look, that's how you get it. But that means, you know, I could be in Dublin. I can take my device with me and my software, and I can be in Dublin, and I just press that button, and Google is going to try and assist me to get home. It could be simple things like, you know, could be where is the nearest, sorry, right, near this Italian restaurant. Is that right? No. Where is the nearest Italian restaurant? So now when I press this,
Where is the nearest Italian restaurant?
The address for Il Padrino restaurant is 19 to 21 Cook Street, Centre, Cork, T12Y.
so again, I'll just turn it down a bit. So the idea there is that we could be out in the city. Again, I could be with my parents in Dublin, and they say, "Hey, Connor, you know, you love Italian, you love food. Why don't you pick where we eat tonight?" I have that button programmed into my system. I press it. No matter where I am, I could be in Dublin, Galway, Belfast, you know, wherever. It's going to point me towards the nearest Italian restaurant. I get, you know, that sense of that I got to choose today. I got to choose where we got to eat, and we're going to an Italian restaurant because that's the favorite food that I got. And just, you know, these are things that people have told me that they've programmed into their device, and you know, I'm sure you could have lots and lots of different ideas. You basically have Google built into your communication software, so you could just think of loads and loads of things you could do, and all you need is a Google account to do so, and you're up and running. So it's been really, really good to see with Google Assistant. I'm sure you'll all probably have your own ideas, and you're all starting to think what else you can do with it. But you know, you can link in with other Google products as well. So it does tell you, you know, if you've got smart appliances or the thermostats or anything like that, all the program is kind of is built in there. But look, if you have any ideas, drop them into the Q&A, and I can you know, I could program the button and see does it work for what you're looking for. So that's the Google Assistant. I think you'll all agree that's a lovely thing to see between Google and an assistive technology, that you have a big company like Google have put the time and effort into programming something for people with, you know, disabilities and special needs, that we have something like this now. I think it's a great addition to the AAC world. So again, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. That's Google Assistant. Another thing, and this will probably be covered in more detail next week, is Boardmaker. So now you can launch your Boardmaker account from within Snap. So if you've created those you know, activities or books or anything you've created in Boardmaker, it'll now work directly within Snap. So you don't have to leave Snap to access them. So, you know, if you've got books that you have on Boardmaker and you want to use them from within Snap, so the user themselves doesn't have to leave their communication software, they can open up their book and they can start reading within it. You could do your shared reading activities, or we can go through them. So it's all within Snap Core first. So again, it's just kind of, you know, bolstering out your system, that kind of ecosystem that you're using. So that's Boardmaker. A lot of that will be kind of covered next week in terms of Boardmaker 7 and how you do so. But it's just to kind of show you that, look, you can do that from within Snap Core first. The next one I'm going to show you is environmental control. A lot of people don't realize that there is a lot of scope for environmental control within Snap Core first. So if you're in the dashboard is this little wheel at the top, or you might find it on your navigation bar on the side. There's a button called remotes. They've kind of put in some templates where you go into TV, you got your volume up, volume down. You just learn in your code for these. So if you have your TV remote with you and you want to program it into the system, so if you have a Tobii Dynavox device, or if you have an IR infrared sender attached to your system, whether it's on your iPad or something like that, you just click Add Action. You go down to send infrared signal, and then you just record it. So basically, you point the remote of your TV, the volume up button, at the device, and then, you know, you record it in, and then when you press this button on your Snap Core, that'll turn the volume up and down on your TV. So as I said, they have a couple of kind of template pages made up for you. Just to show you, here is a system that we did recently for somebody, just to show you what else you can do. We can see we've, you know, got the doors done, the windows, the lights, the intercom, you know, everything in that house for that child who's using an eye gaze system. He can control the windows, the doors, everything, all from within the Snapcore first. So we don't have to leave Snapcore first for that user to access their system. So again, you're kind of building out on your communication system. You're making this robust kind of technology platform for the user. And, you know, like, as I said, we have everything on this page. It looks a bit cluttered, but if I wanted to, you know, all I have to do is click on this one. Over here, I have copy, and then I can find a page where it's suitable for the user. If I go to topics, I've created a little door control page, and I can create a nice big button for the user. And now, you know, I can move all of these buttons around the system to wherever they want to use it. So if I want, you know, we're talking about the house and he wants to open the door, I'll have a little button there that they can open the door. So really easy to kind of, once you have this system set up, you can do the environmental control and mix it with the communication. So you might have a topic around talking about TV, but it's also giving the user the access to control the TV, so they can communicate about it, and then they can control it as well. So that's your environmental control system, all able to do within Snapcore first. As you see, I've yet to leave Snapcore first. You do, but as I say that, there is an option that if you do want to launch other programs from within Snapcore first, so if there's something else on the device that you want to open up, if there's a piece of software, like if you want to open up, you know, Microsoft Word, or if you want to open up an education program that's on the device, you can do so. This is only on Windows. You can't do this on the iPad version. So again, I just press edit. If I'm creating a button, I add an action, and I just click launch application, and it'll give me the default Toby ones. But if I want to run any application, sorry, my phone's ringing now. Any application on the system, I can just browse for an application on my computer. Just to give you an idea what that means, here I have launched Communicator 5. So the user might want to use the accessible apps in Communicator 5. So when I press this button, it launches Communicator 5. So now I'm into Communicator 5. The user themselves doesn't really know that they've left Snapcore first. It was very easy for them to do. And I can go into Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it may be. When I want to go back to Snapcore, I just press this button and I'm back in. So it's very easy for the user to kind of go between the two. So that's launching applications from within Snapcore. So that's kind of some new features that are added to it. Other things that I want to show you today are some of the other page sets that are available within Snapcore first. One of them, and a few people have asked this week, is the aphasia page set. That looks like this. So as you can see, it looks very different to Snapcore first. So your symbols are more adult orientated, because we're probably working with, if we've got aphasia, the chances are we're probably working with adults. So you can see that they're more, these are the thin line symbols they're called. We're not working on sentence building here. We're more working on word searching. Got things like quickfires. We can see that the text is kind of on par with the symbol. It's as big as the symbol, shall we say. It's more as prominent. We have the whiteboard built in. We have topics with a visual scene. So we could be wanting to talk about sports. We have a big image to try and maybe trigger a memory to know what we're talking about, to kind of show that, look, we're talking about sports. And then because maybe a lot of the users with aphasia may not have communicated using symbols before. So we're using a lot of kind of visuals to help. We obviously have the keyboard. We have rating scales. You know, we can have pain scales, you know, 1 to 5. We have things like, there's a calendar built into the aphasia page set. So, you know, we can create our weekly schedules. We can do our daily activities. So that's the, you know, I'm not going to go into huge depth about it. I think Michael's asking questions about what else what other series you want to see from us in terms of the ham sandwich series or short ones. If you want us to do one specifically on aphasia, happy to do so. I think it's something that people would like to see. So that's the aphasia page set. And there's also a text-based page set. So this is the text-based page set. As you can see, there's no symbols whatsoever. So you may have somebody with a degenerative disease or maybe fully literate using this. It's all about phrases. You might integrate your message banking. You might upload your messages that you've stored, go in here. So these are your questions. Then you can categorize them into different topics, and you have your keyboard with your predictive word as well. And then, you know, you might marry that up with your environmental control system, so you're getting access to control the house or whatever it may be. So very, very simple, very easy to program. If I wanted to program this. You know, hi, my name is. So I'm using my keyboard, but I might want to use this phrase over and over again. I'm not going to type out, hi, my name is Connor all the time. I'm going to quickfires, press this big button here, copy to button, click this one, done, and now I'm saying. So the user themselves can pretty much program their device. So that's the text-based page set. So I'm going to switch back to my core first. We've been focusing on core first. So I think a lot of people think that, you know, maybe there's only core first page sets, but we have pages for text users, we have pages for aphasia that are specifically designed for them. There's page sets specifically for scanners. There's also been some new page sets added. These are ones you do have to purchase. So I just go to System to Store. There is if it'll load up right here. So there's a pod page set now. So if there's any users that are pod users, it's in collaboration with Gail Porter that they've created these pages that the system will now work with Snap Core first. There's also the Gateway page set. So if anyone's using Gateway, they may have used Compass in the past or Gateway. The add-on for that in Compass, it's now in Snap Core first as well. There's also the nuanced speech engine, so you can buy extra voices and languages, all for Snap Core first. So there's so it just shows it's constantly building as a piece of software, and you do have those options to keep adding to it. So if you're a therapist or a person that works with, you know, a caseload of different people, you don't just have to focus on the core first. And if you kind of understand, you know, and have done the kind of basic programming and how to kind of, you know, edit buttons and change things, it's exactly the same across all page sets. So if we're working with a text user, it's the same way to program. If we're working with somebody who's aphasia, so it's the same way of programming. So it's really, really simple for people to kind of, once they have their understanding of Snap Core first, that they're able to kind of transfer those skills when working with different people with different kind of needs. So if they need something that, you know, we need to bring in environmental control onto it, or we need to start using Google or Boardmaker, we can do so. Or if we're working with somebody with a brain injury, we might use the aphasia page set. I know how to do that because I've been working with kids with ASD in the past, and I've used the core first page set. You know, it's okay. I can now use the aphasia page set. I have the understanding and the training to do so. So there are all the kind of new things. There's been so much added to Snap Core first especially in the last 12 months. Sometimes it's hard to keep up, and we forget ourselves that they've added, you know, this and that, and we forget to tell people about it, or we don't, you know, we're telling them about one thing and we forget the next thing. So so I've covered that in 20 minutes, and I've done it in true Cork fashion at a rate of at a very quick rate. So that's it. That's they're the kind of things we wanted to cover today. The new pages, the new applications, and the how to print.